is going home and someone's going into the quarterfinals of the NSG Summer Champs main event. Will it be NRG? Will it be Teal Team? We'll find out now. Teal Team, it's their pick. They get to start on the attack, and they're looking to aggress towards mid.
That they are. It's been the attacking side for Teal Team in all three maps to get things started. So trying to keep that momentum moving forward. And speaking of, I mean, all aboard the A train here for Teal Team. They push onto the site. They're able to get not only that wall up, but quite possibly that spike planted. It's always interesting to me, right? Because it was Glyph playing the Killjoy on Breeze, but now going to be playing the Sage, whereas it was Aqua playing the Sage on Breeze, who is now on the Killjoy. So they've swapped the agents, swapped the roles, and we'll see to what detriment. A couple of kills traded back and forth. Damage as well. So NRG, in terms of health, just a bit further ahead. The post plant, I mean, pretty strong this far for Teal Team, especially with that utility used. Larry Banks going to toss out the shock dart, able to find some damage. That one with the ghost now weeded on 3 HP. A classic in hand. Larry Banks off the top ropes, able to secure the round for Teal Team.
Well, they had a lot of util in the post plant, but it was actually expended really early. A great nade from Android, because both of the mollies from Killjoy, $400 for the very impactful utility, was broken off of that. They were left with only the Viper mollies and the Sova shocks, and, well, the mollies were used quite early, so it did have to just come down to the brawl. NRG did a good job at clearing out Maze, but it's a Sova, right? You got to do a little baiting when you're playing that Sova role. Yep. And, well, Larry Banks did it very well, able to clutch it out in the 1 versus 1, win a good pistol for Teal Team. They've struggled in these previous games with pistol rounds, so you love to see him starting stronger in this one.
And the anti-eco once more. We've seen the momentum that winning a pistol can give to Teal Team, and we'll see if that's kind of the same that we get. Obviously, the one that we witnessed was on defense, this time on the attacking side, and they're taking it quite a bit slowly, or slower, I should say. Respecting the pistols of NRG, respecting the close angles of Icebox. His Glyph snuck up inside the kitchen area. Is going to be here for just a moment before running into Weeded. We'll see how this one pans out. Just behind him, I believe it's Dynamic with the Vandal. As the footsteps heard on the drop, the spike continues to rotate this way, and it's kind of a crunch here. They don't really have a way out. You've got that flank coming out from A as the spike has made its way onto the site. We'll see where that gets planted. All 5 still alive. Now make it 4 for NRG. With the sheriff shots, they are going to land Psalm. Going to stop the plant here. Now in a 4v4 situation, Larry Banks is able to trade back another. So it's numbers advantage once more for Teal Team, but the health bars are getting low as Tex picks ones up with the classic. It's all down to Tex, and through the wall, Cade 3K will do just that. Find himself a 3K. The anti-eco goes the way of Teal Team.
I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, I'd really love to see a replay of some shots there. Because, I mean, that's just, unlucky. Unlucky. That's what we'll say about that one. Looking back at this, oh, yes. Thank you, Mike. That's beautiful. I feel like it's like the old meme from CS. Shots 1 through 3, nearly missed. Shots 4 through 5. I mean, it was just, the spray was a little too high. 15 through 30. I mean, it's just, gotta aim better. Unlucky for some, but jokes aside, nice little anti-eco there from Teal Team. Bye will be back with NRG, and the aggression will be in. Android trying to find a frag, and he'll convert it off a nice start from EU, and talk of EU, he's up aggro as well. Now NRG, the whole front will fall. The Blitzkrieg successful for an opener.
And that's NRG going back to their aggressive ways, pushing all the way up. And what I like about that is they don't overstep, right? We talked about it, the last few rounds of Breeze, they had that round where they kind of push out towards the spawn rather than looking to get that spike planted, and they're punished for the aggression. This time, we see the same style of aggression, but they back away after getting something. Now they look to play the round out with a minute left on the clock, a player ahead. Fortunately for Teal Team, they do have that Viper's Pit to work with, so should they get that spike down, they do have that ult online, but Android online as well. A nice 3K spray down, looking to strip away the bonus of Teal Team as EU closes it out with 2 of his own. NRG now on the board.
Ooh, good round there by NRG. I love the aggression. This is what I was waiting to see out of the NRG defense. The confidence from Android to just take that early fight. And EU had some fantastic support as well. It's a good dart early on, and it's the final 2 frags found for the Sova as well. Teal Team was just on the bonus, so now we finally get to see the real rifle v rifle. But Larry Banks did put a bit of investment into that previous round, and now be stuck onto just the just the stinger. But as well, what we're looking at is a pit up and ready for K3K. That could change the game.
Oh, okay. There goes. I say a nice angle here by Som. And speaking of, he picks up 2, but to kick off the round, that Viper's pit was stripped away. 3K for Android in the first rifle round, a 3K for Som in the next. Now Aqua on the deep flank, very healthy on the Killjoy. Has not spotted out Android just yet. Will swing around and pick up the first. Now has 4 to worry about, and unfortunately, a spike down in one of the worst spots. Able to find Tex, the operator, stripped away, and Aqua making me a believer here in this one, as that turret should get first contact, but if he swings too wide, he'll be spotted, and it's EU to take him down, no less. EU, again, closes out another round. We're all tied up at 2.
Yeah, money's going to be looking really rough here for Teal Team, and it's just Tex with the confidence. A tough first game for him, but now he is hitting his stride, finds that initial frag, and off of that, Teal Team didn't want to make that rotation back through mid. They knew that they had a man disadvantage, and they were hoping that they'd be able to find something quick out towards B. Som with the off angle would not allow it, and it's NRG finding a clean path to a lead so long as they can convert this anti-eco.
Nice slow orb. The paint shell's right behind it. Unfortunately, just a second too late. I mean, it doesn't matter. The anti-eco energy gonna go aggressive off of this one. And again, they back away after finding the first. They don't want to give up too much. They're respecting the sheriffs. They're respecting the shots, and that's why you have to do it. As Larry Banks finds one, he's still alive. The judge comes around the corner, but he's not alive for long as Tex pushes up close and personal and closes out a round for NRG.
Yeah, that they will. I mean, it was all right with the anti-eco. You try and just go quickly out towards that A site, but NRG still just displaying the confidence. These last 3 rounds, it's been the NRG show. Push forward, find an opening pick, and I think it's especially impressive because they're not rocking with flashes. You don't have a sky for that early opener. It's just the heads-up duels, and the double dive comp NRG play perfectly.
When does it end? When does the aggression stop, or when will the aggression be punished? This time it's Android not going as far forward, but still posturing aggressively out towards pipes. Will back away to try and dodge out on the Owl drone. Doesn't want to give up his position just yet. I think Larry Banks just misses out on it there. So a bit of false security for Teal Team, thinking maybe they can creep up to 410, but a drone in response for NRG will force him back for now.
One lurk out towards the B side of things, and 4 players from Teal Team postured towards A. NRG be set up towards mid, allows a quick rotation off of contact towards either site, and the dart pop contact will be made. Android flying close towards Maze. Shots go wide. He's still able to convert 1, but that gives space towards back 410. A Killjoy ult will be popped off of that, and Teal Team now in control of the site. Larry Banks even finding a great frag from the off angle, and a second as well now. Som to fall. They wanted the aggression, but NRG finally punished as they find themselves in a 2v4 on the retake.
And a heads up from Larry Banks there, not only finding that first frag, but then expecting, after getting pinged by that bolt, maybe that somebody was looking to go down on their shield and get locked down, but find a kill in doing so, and he was ready for that. He takes Som down and makes this a very winnable round for Teal Team, whereas NRG, they were looking to pull ahead. They put 3 in a row. Now Teal Team, the back end of a couple of ultimates and a couple of frags, put another tally in the win column. 3-3 we go, and maybe I'm ready for it. I am ready for another back and forth, just like we saw on Breeze, and it's looking like early in this one, that's what we're getting.
Yeah, you love to see that, and I mean, NRG, you kind of prefaced it at the beginning of the round. When is the punishment gonna come through? When is NRG gonna be stopped? What happened in this round? They tried to take the fight off of that lockdown, and it doesn't work out. Larry Banks going big in that one, and at that point, you're just forced for the save. You don't want to play the operator retake in towards that B site, especially when you're at such a heavy disadvantage. So play those percentages, hold on to the weaponry, and I mean, for Teal team, they won that round. They'll have their money looking good. They'll still have these ults charged up. If they can get this to a post plant, they could be on course for another.
Hunter Furies traded out, dynamic tagged, and a good bit of damage coming out as another shot. Gonna go wide, not gonna find it just yet, but Teal team good for 2 on the round as Android will get one in response, but it's still a player ahead for the Young Guns on the attack, and a lot of ground covered out towards A. But what does it mean here? Nice couple of cloud bursts to allow the cross, and Aqua is holding it down here, saying, hey guys, come on over. I think they've all rotated off. That is the right call. They're still looking to play this slow because of all of that utility set up by Weeded, and now he's right behind him.
Oh, the timing on this flank is so good. He can hear them top the rope. Spots out too. Will gun them both down the molly to defend. Spike at his feet. Weeded will find 3. And Dynamic now left in the clutch. Another pinch coming through. He just doesn't expect it. The operator's holding the angle. Tex on the narrowest of margins will connect the shot with the sniper. And then NRG, they'll rebound with 4.
Is that like a jet thing to take that shot and then dash, right? Because there's no reason for it from
Just
Tex, but is that
things.
kind of like a jet flex? I don't play the agent, so I don't know if that's kind of one of the cool moves to do.
Am I the only one, like, in the post round? If I have a piece of, like, my free utility left, I'll always just use it. I'll always just
that
dash,
makes sense.
always just SoaR Recon. I wouldn't call it, like, BM, but it's just, like, I don't know. I guess you just do it. It is what it is. Android here, though. This is a weird one. This is a tough off angle to contend with. Dynamics actually read into it, but misses out on the Blade Storm. Will force Android back.
And speaking of that free utility, Recon Bolt sent out, as well as the paint shells. So those are going to be down. Bolt down for 40 seconds. And the paint shell's down for the next couple of kills. We know Android can be good for them, and we've seen multiple rounds where he's able to find multiple paint shells and multiple paint shell frags. We'll see if that does come to fruition as we crest that 1 minute mark. We did still dancing inside the pit. Aqua just on the outside. So a similar kind of posture here for Teal team. It's a few members out towards B. It's still that Killjoy up towards A to see if he can garner some information. Well, speaking of information, EU just got a whole lot. Finds a tag. Drone will be taken down. Aqua will be spotted out, and now there's no real way for them to get back towards that A site. You were hoping to find Weeded, and that is not the case as the wall gets chipped away at. So does Glyph. Larry Banks will fall, and Teal team looking to concede another, and they're walking right into the welcome arms of Weeded, who puts himself in a tough spot, finds the first. That's a spike down, will be answered by the classic of Dynamic, but it's still 2 players ahead, or NRG. Only 1 cloud burst to work with, and, well, you needed 1 more as K3K not long for this world.
That round will favor NRG here, and they'll might get a nice little streak of 2 in a row to work with. I mean, with the new updates to the Radiant boxes, as soon as that Sage wall is broken, B is just off the table. I'm going to be interested to see how teams, especially like 100 Thieves who have been playing Sageless, adapt to this change. Because the amount of utility, the amount of spam you can get through that green box is even more than it used to be, and that wall was broken instantaneously. It was heads up from Android to be able to take that down. Then there's shock darts, then there's mollies. You're forced to rotate, but there was already someone pushed up towards mid. Really great play there from NRG. The op is back in Tex's hands, but it's a good cloud burst to keep Dynamic safe. I think he still receives the tag through the wall, but he'll live to see another day as NRG. This is so aggressive, and Aqua just get executed. K3K as well. The 1 taps, only 2 bullets used and 2 frags found.
There.
Off the...
One enemy.
Oh my goodness, Android just doing it to him. It's 4 kills on the round. The tap, 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 and the showstopper to try and close it out will find the ace, will live to tell the tale as NRG pushed to 6. And Mimi, I was just about to say, this might just be recency bias because of what we've seen in this game and previously from Android. I don't feel like Android has been incredibly dominant in like the spray transfer department. It's been this right here. It's just been the tap, 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 the spray reset kind of burst fire where he finds 1, 2, 3 frags. And that round, before I could even get it off, summed it up so perfectly. That's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm watching like a hunting game right now. Like, it's just deer to the slaughter. They had no opportunity to fight back. Android, the amount of pop-off potential this guy has is absolutely insane. And with Larry Banks, it's not going to be a good round for him. Hope you enjoyed your 10 seconds of life before Sam absolutely tore him down. And Tex, the op hidden as well. We thought this would be back and forth, but now NRG's just looking so crisp.
Slowly starting to pull away here, stringing rounds in a row. It was 2 in a row for Teal Team before they broke up the streak from NRG, and a flawless round after a flawless round previously that was kind of hidden in the ace. That was an eco though for Teal Team. So 7-5 still on the table, and wow, we're 3 maps deep and we finally get our first time out.
Thank God. There's so many of these games where teams don't pop the tack pauses, and finally we see it. I mean, I like the timing, right? Those last couple of rounds had to have been tilters, because Teal Team didn't even get anything done. Even if you don't have some perfect strat, you at least get this moment to ice out NRG, chill out, reset yourselves, get everyone on the same page, because these next 2 rounds are going to be very critical. 5-7, 4-8. Those are both respectable halves on Icebox. You definitely want to get the 5-7, and this round is the one to do it. Money's back in the bank. You lose here, you're back down to that kind of weird half buy. This is where it matters, so I think the timing is perfect.
And this one of those timeouts on a full buy, right? We kind of get both sides of the coin, where sometimes teams will call a timeout and they're looking to go into a save round and maybe use that round to then continue to kind of muster up what they're going to do on their buy. This time, like you pointed out, it's that full buy for Teal Team, and it's a pretty good time to kind of collect your thoughts and say, all right, we have to win this one, or else we are kind of conceding the next 2 because of our light buy. And that's not a decent spot. That's not where you want to be going in it to the half. So an important one here. It's still an Odin in the hands of EU. Tex still wielding the operator. And unfortunately for Teal Team, I mean, they failed to break this economy. So winning this one, it's still going to be a full buy going into the last, as Aqua looks to deal with some of that aggression. Puts down the alarm bot. Unfortunately, nobody's pushing that way. It's Weeded holding down the A side all by himself.
NRG relenting for the moment on the aggression, but Sam still just jumping. Wants to find a good timing on this wall. I mean, the amount of space you can gain just from these jumps is insane. He spotted out one off that Sova bolt, so wall will come up, and he actually has a chance for a walk up here. Dynamics already low. Ooh,
wow.
A little too wide to fit through, and that might have just saved Dynamics' life.
And Dynamic definitely would have been spotted at first here and taken down nice and easy, like, with the health being so low. And speaking of, he looks to take the fight against EU, and he will promptly lose it. The drone queued up. EU trying to spot anybody out, pushing onto the site. The wall goes down. The snake bite. I mean, it's not going to kill Glyph, but it puts him in a tough spot. He's vulnerable. He's taking damage. He's forced to reassess where he wants to plant, as Larry Banks goes good for 2 kills again from that top of 410 spot. Now the Viper's Pit comes through the resurrection to swing the numbers back in favor of Teal Team, but EU has something to say about it. They're looking to cut them all down. And Aqua, the last one standing here, usually creeping up on the A site, but cannot creep out. As 2 remain, and NRG will strip away another round from underneath Teal Team.
Really big round there from EU, shutting down the resurrection. He knew exactly where it was, despite that Viper's Pit in play, and then it's just really unlucky for K3K. He gets spammed down so early on. They lose out on that spacing and aren't able to find the round. That was where it mattered. They knew it. They invested so many ults into it, and in not being able to pick that one up, Teal Team, I mean, they could now be looking at 9-3 as a possibility.
Yeah, they're able to muster up a bit of a buy. It's not as bad as I was expecting, but obviously you're getting that full loss bonus. But a Spectre and a Bulldog mixed in between the 3 Vandals that are online. You've got a couple of ults to work with for both teams. The knives already popped early from Tex, trying to get himself out of dodge. He's also got Android right there with him to try and trade anything. And, well, nothing to be had there. K3K picks up the first. Tex trades it back. That's with the knives that he popped at the beginning of the round. Now the operator that he's had for a handful of rounds gonna get something done. And speaking of operator, EU actually coming into this one with an op of his own. They just start to cut the numbers down as Tex goes up. Teal Seam goes down 9-3. Is where we find our hat selves as we go into the last half of the series, just on the other side of this break. Down to 6 rounds is where Teal Seam find themselves in the last map of the series. What could be their last map of the summer champs. They've got a very tall task ahead of them, Mimi. We get to see if they can get it done. Maybe we counted them out a little early on Breeze, and it was the pistol round on defense that actually turned the tides, and well, that's exactly where they find themselves right here.
Very crucial for Teal Seam to win this. You win this round, and you're right back in that game. If you can get on that rip roar and start, there's always a chance for the youngins to make something impossible happen. It's a good Viper setup for Cade to delay, but delay seems to be all he's getting right now. NRG still postured to split this in towards B with a late lurk out towards mid, courtesy of Weeded.
They wait for that utility to go down completely. Zakwa finds the first. It's not the utility from K3K helping out. It's the ghost instead. So NRG, they managed to get that spike planted. Unfortunately, they're down a player. Weeded trying to turn the odds. Lift backs away. Gives up maybe too much space. No, his team is there to bail him out. So 3 players now stand for NRG as Teal Seam look to scoop up a pistol round of their own. Sandwich between the walls. The defuse will come, and the kills don't matter at this point, as that spike will not go kaput. It's the last one standing. Tex will fall, and Teal Seam will find the pistol.
I mean, you just got a peanut butter and glyph sandwich going on there between the 2 walls. Defuse comes through. Even if Weeded was still alive, any mollies would have just bounced right off. If there were shock darts, likely wouldn't have worked. That tight gap is so hard to contend with, and Teal Seam did a great job at it. I want to give credit to Glyphit as well in shutting down that Weeded lurk. He's just bunny hopping around the corner. He knows that his value isn't in taking that fight, because Weeded doesn't really care if he wins the fight. Time is what he wants, and, well, they don't give him any time. They force Weeded to go aggressive into a very heavy force of Teal Seam, and Weeded just can't win out on that fight. Very well played pistol. This is the way for Teal Seam to pull something crazy off, as Larry Banks whiffing a couple shots on the Sheriff, but still Glyph on a good angle.
Yeah, and it's a force from NRG, which is so scary because Dynamic, again, just hanging on to that Sheriff. I believe Larry Banks has one as well. They're able to get some use out of him, but Android is there to trade the kills. Back in well, Tech's gonna hop on the board as well. So the duelists starting to do what they do best here for NRG to try and swing the tides back in their favor. As Aqua drops down, he's got the backstab. Now EU at the tall task, full health, a Spectre in hand, able to find the first, but not the next. The force buy. It all goes wrong for NRG. Teal Seam are able to hang on once more.
Yeah, I mean, for Teal Seam there, it does get very close, but NRG able to almost win it out. It got very close, but great play by Aqua there on the drop down. Finds 3 in the end to close out the round. And that's definitely a punish for NRG, because now you're in this tough position. Do we want to force back in? Do we want to concede and just play with those sheriffs? And, well, the decision seems to be to stick that lighter by. And Teal Seam lost that win. They have great economy. Dynamic will have an operator. Rifles for the majority of the squad. They're likely to win this third round now, Tanner.
Yeah, and I mean, that is kind of a force in their own right? This would be technically or typically their bonus round, but they invest heaps into it because of the economy that NRG find themselves in. And, well, you can't count it out. As Tex picks up one, EU right behind him with another as the Sheriff shots continue to land, and it's all going wrong. 4 players still alive, and it's just the operator here in hand as Dynamic finds the first. It was the low HP Jet, but he takes a Marshall shot on the way out. 49 health separates NRG from winning this round and stealing it away. Dynamic just trying to save here, but it's NRG on the hunt.
I'd like to issue my formal apology to Teal Seam, because I said they would likely win this round, and then they got rolled. They're not even going to keep this operator. It's a good try on the flick from Dynamic, but Android instead will clean it up, and I feel like they just got a little overzealous there. They tried to greed for the refrag after losing that initial player, and that's how that snowball starts to happen. You lose your first gun, you greed to refrag. They've already recovered a rifle, so you're swinging into what is basically a heads-up rifle duel with maybe too much confidence. Doesn't happen in their favor. And I mean, remember how much money Teal Seam initially put in? It was a ton. They had to make a near full reinvestment in that round. Worst possible case scenario right now.
Worst case, it was the operator retrieved as well as weapons on the other 2 remaining for NRG. So Tex back to the trusty op. The rest of the squad on rifles, and for Teal Seam, it's just the upgraded pistols, which I don't think they always get the same value on the defensive side. Tex the first to fall. I eat my words just a bit. We'll see how much more they can muster up. The op not retrieved. Saw him. Tries to find the B. Hopping Aqua inside the tube. Gets damage, but no frag return. With the blades online, Dynamic could be the turning point here in this round as the operator gets tossed away. Nobody going to be able to retrieve that one, and Teal Seam continue to push forward on their pistols.
Yeah, it's a tough choice to make, but I do like the decision. Anti-eco with the operator is normally tough, and it could have fallen into the hands of Dynamic. Could have gotten very dangerous there if Teal Seam recovered. The molly goes down, but that's not where they're destined to plant. Instead, they're doing that upper level strat a la Envy, but it doesn't work out. Good bit of spam there from EU, and the plant has been successfully knocked in towards the ground. 4v4 on this retake. Dynamic still with this Blade Storm.
The Dynamic needs to be huge here. Looking to be the first to contact in the 4v4 situation. It's a player just behind him, I believe, in K3K. As the shots come from up top, it's Larry Banks to find one. Hunter's Fury from EU, though, trying to clear out the side, and Glyph disabled to stick it. It's a Thrifty for Thrifty as Teal Seam will find another round, but will the bodies fall? It's all up to Weeda to try and strip away the Sheriffs, but the damage has been done on both sides.
Wait, where are the comms there? For NRG, EU was ulting as if it was planted lower. That makes no sense to me. That should have been a free round in the post plant with that Hunter Sphere, or at least they should have been able to delay, but they just get overwhelmed by the Blade Storm. I think the ult maybe comes out in panic a little bit. The comm doesn't come through quick enough. They don't realize that it's planted second story. Oh, you really hate to see that round for NRG, but it's what Teal Seam needed. You'll take those mistakes, you'll capitalize off of them, and now you almost have to swing this back towards their favor.
And this is a new life here for Teal Seam as they let a thrifty round slip away from them, or they gave up a thrifty round, I should say. They get one back.
Not
and all
again.
is good here on Icebox, but Android kicks things off nice and well for NRG with the Sheriff shot, and we did the rifle in hand, able to find one for himself. So Teal Seam mean, they're able to squeak out a thrifty round victory. They go right back to it with full rifles, and it starts to come crumbling down once more as Dynamic cuts the numbers down for NRG by 1. The wall goes up, so does SoaR, puts him in a tough spot, but he backs away for Tex to find the frag. Now in a 2v4 situation, 3 ultimates online for NRG. A seemingly unlosable round as Teal Team only have 2 on the retake.
This was a thrifty round. This was a 30 kill in a row, and NRG are about to win it. Unless something crazy can happen, and that's looking less and less likely. It's Dynamic in the clutch. No tail when the shot goes wide. He has to play this game in close. Needs the no-scope. Finds one. It's so swift, but Tex with the right click. I mean, I'm just aghast at what's going on. It's thrifty for thrifty. So many rounds that should not be won are being stolen away.
That is... it's heartbreaking,
yeah,
right? Especially for Teal Team, because now they're mustering up all that they can coming to this next one, trying to play for the win, not looking to play backs against the wall, match point, round after round. They bring a couple of stingers, a sheriff, and a couple of rifles here into this one. And we cannot continue to go back and forth here on these thrifties. If you're Teal Team, you not only need to win this round, but you have to figure out ways to win that rifle as well. And this would have been a good start if Dynamic found that frag, but Android can thank the heavens for now as he stays alive. The shots go wide, and NRG continue to push forward, and it's off the back end of the showstopper here. The one and done spot right at his feet as Glyph will fall. Larry Banks gets one back. The resurrection put the numbers back in favor of NRG as they continue to push onto the site. The lockdown gonna push them away for now, but will they play through it? The aggressive way is the NRG way as that spike gets planted. Might get punished for it. They try to back away. The dash gonna get stopped. Tex now gonna get detained as he walks back with the rest of the squad. It's 4 players detained here and 1 out on the lurk. They need to push forward, and Teal Team to find these frags. Dynamic lines them up. He takes them down. He finds 3. They find the rest. The spike is defused, and EU is not there in time. Teal Team once more hang on.
What the hell am I watching? No one can win the rounds that they are supposed to. I'm gonna rip my hair out. It's just miracle after miracle, and Teal Team, they have got to be praying because NRG just fumbled that round in a huge way. They don't put enough respect into that Killjoy lockdown. 4 get to... what do I even say here, Tanner? This is crazy.
This has been a very, very strange... We were kind of robbed of the back and forth in the first half, so this is just the Valorant gods making up for it in this one. And Dynamic tries to play in a different spot. Unfortunately, sniffed out by Tex. He's taken it down, so Teal Team once more on the back foot. A resurrection available to that body in a really tough spot. Fallen just underneath 2 means the sight lines are there from the attacking side for NRG. And, well, now the numbers advantage once more. This time, they look to hit that B site. Toxic screen goes through. K3 Kagan try and stop things with the snake bite, and Android gets one through that toxic screen. Aforementioned, the spike will be planted, and NRG full force ahead, looking to push to map point.
Android has a really good spot here. Cade is locked in towards Covey, and he's just going to get gunned down. It's Aqua for 1, but now it's left to the young Sova. Larry Banks for a 1 versus 4. Seems unlikely, but he's good in the clutch. Already dinked up, down to 67 points of health and only 10 bullets in the magazine. Knows where Android is, but Android betters him in the spray battle. It's match point, series point with NRG.
Match point.
Summer champs point here for Teal Team. They need to string 5 in a row. They haven't been able to muster up 5 in the second half. It's a tough spot to be in, but fortunately, they've got the weapons to be in a position like this, as well as a Blade Storm on a line, and the other ultimates right behind it. That Resurrection, that Viper's Pit. So we'll see where Cade, it looks like maybe wanting to get that one down out towards B main. No, just going with that same setup with the Viper utility like you would usually see. We have yet to see that Viper's Pit come online, and now we won't ever see it online unless that Resurrection comes through quickly. And speaking of quickly, NRG quickly out towards the A site. They're looking to answer with Dynamic, and it's Jet for Jet, but Tex getting the better of the value as Larry Banks only able to steal one back. There's now a Viper's Pit online for Weeded and 1 player remaining. The pit goes down. SoaR with the run and gun. Larry Banks will fall as Teal Team